Yeah, we're disappointed. Hello, it's the Edible Valley podcast. I'm fair to say I'm pretty annoyed at this point. John, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling all right because I've been enjoying laughing at you.
This
trying
is the
to figure
time.
out fourth time.
All right,
Have
number
you figured
one.
out how to use this stuff yet?
Well, look, I was in a really good mood about 8 minutes ago. We started the podcast. It was hilarious.
Probably one of our best.
Yeah, I was like it was a joke. It was a laugh a minute. Awards, everything. We would have been doing really well.
Oh, exactly.
You would have been. It was hilarious.
I was impressed.
Trust us. Then I realised it wasn't recording out of your mic.
Yes.
Didn't sound very good.
That's right.
Okay. So, and I made some jokes. I'm not going to do the jokes again. All right. The jokes, because we did this 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
And again, it wasn't recording.
The mic wasn't
from
set
your
up
mic.
right. Yeah. I don't know why it's...
So I made a really hilarious joke about how I look very unusually short in the YouTube videos next to you.
Yes.
You're 6'2", I'm 5'5", ha ha ha.
That's right.
You're standing much closer to the camera, that's the reason. But I happen to be a bit shorter. All right, that was a 10-minute bit I just did.
It was quite
I'm
good.
not doing it again.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair
it's
enough.
not meant to be
That's
out
all right.
there, obviously. All right, anyway, am I supposed to be entertaining?
This is
not entertaining.
This is not entertaining.
All right, okay, what are we doing today?
We got to circle back here and we got to get onto squash because we're talking about harvest time. It's harvest time of year.
Harvest time. Welcome to the Edible Valley podcast. We want to invite you as we embark on a culinary journey through the heart of Vancouver Island
From the fertile fields,
to the pristine waters of the Pacific Ocean.
we'll explore the stories behind the food that nourishes us.
Tune in to each episode as we deep dive into the flavours, the traditions, and the innovations that make this a true paradise.
Now please join us as we explore our edible valley.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Edible Valley podcast. I'm Chef Jonathan Fraser.
And I am Person William Stringer, and it is great to have you along. It is, at the moment, the oh my gosh, it's the 6th of October. So let's quickly, before we get on to squash, let's kind of set the scene. I've been thinking, I think October is the most fully or autumny of the autumn months.
Oh,
Isn't it, really?
It definitely is. The leaves are changing
Yeah.
color.
Yeah.
Everything's cooling down.
Yeah.
You're starting to put those sweaters on
Yeah.
at night and just, it's time to start snuggling up a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
can you not look at me like, no, thank you. But, because you got September and it's like, ooh, yeah, September. I mean, come on. September's like, ooh, I'm the first autumn month. And it's like, you're not really, you're basically summer, mate, all right?
Yeah.
For the first 6 days of September, the kids are still on holiday, for crying out loud.
And it's still usually gorgeous around
Exactly.
here, right?
So forget it, September. November, I mean, really?
It's getting
nothing.
gross, right?
Yeah, there's
The rain's
nothing
coming
going for it.
down.
It's got absolutely nothing going for it whatsoever. It's great. It's getting, and prepare for it to get less cheerful here. But this is my rap sheet for November, okay? So it's getting darker very rapidly. The clocks have just gone backwards, and so it's going to get even worse.
Of course.
Suddenly, you lose all the residual heat that you had in November because, believe it or not, October is warmer than April. Yeah, who thought that? Okay, so you've lost all of that. It's bloody cold. It's dark in the morning. It's dark in the evening. There's nothing to look forward to. Christmas is ages away. Summer, spring is even further away. Forget Christmas. If I mention Christmas, it's Canada, so we don't have Thanksgiving at that time of year. It's just got no personality whatsoever, is what I'm saying.
You were just dragging down November right now. I'm like, let's come back to October.
Yeah.
And let's really enjoy.
Let's make the most of it.
The beginning of the fall harvest here. Anyways, I don't know if you saw my last episode. The last episode we got out there. Or actually, 2 episodes ago.
You were in a barn.
I was in a barn.
I loved it. I loved
it. Shamrock Farms and got to do an amazing tour. I actually went back there with a camera and Aaron. We did a whole filming of all the stuff in their bar. 'Cause it was just
absolutely
so beautiful.
Yeah, it really got me into that. I mean, that autumn. Shamrock Farms, obviously a great place to go in the autumn.
Excellent.
Really good. Now, just set me straight on what is at Shamrock, because everyone knows there's basically Coastal Black and there's Shamrock Farms.
That's right.
North and South Highway.
Yeah.
So Shamrock Farms, talk to me about it.
So Shamrock Farms, we're out by the ferry, by the Pell River Ferry there, just before 40 Knots Vineyard.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When you said the ferry, I got the location wrong, I'll be honest. Because, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. I thought it was the other ferry.
So when you're heading
Hornby.
out towards the
Okay.
Pell River Ferry, it's that first road there.
Okay.
And it's just around the corner there. There's a couple other farms. There's quite a few farms all along that area.
Of course it is,
But
yeah.
they're one of the ones that have been around for the longest. And they've always put on this beautiful pumpkin patch. And they always open up their barn and have a harvest market there. So it's all through the month of October. And so I got to go in there and check it all out. And what it got me thinking about, it was like, man, there are so many great vegetables right now that are coming, available. And then I just wanted to start talking about it. And I realized, you know what? We've never just talked about squash. It seems like such a boring thing, but there's like so many different
it's not
types
though,
of
is it?
squash
Yeah.
out there. Because I thought of all the other great things, right? We've got a full market. We've got like apples, pears, all these root vegetables, but all these things seem to really pair well with squash. So depending on what you're doing, I thought this would be a perfect opportunity for us to get into it. So
Absolutely. So I'm going to start by saying spaghetti squash.
yes,
Talk to me.
I love it. Okay. Spaghetti squash is just one of the squashes. I don't have it right beside me, but
I do have high expectations of you, John, but I don't expect you to have well, you do have a squash on you, though. Full squash.
But I do
it's
have
green.
I do have a couple squashes.
Yeah.
But let's talk about it. So it's an oblong, pale yellow squash, and the flesh separates and it turns into like spaghetti strands when it's cooked. So very popular here. It's very inexpensive. Like you can pick it up a lot of places for
So
very
cheap,
cheap.
yeah.
Yet it's such a beautiful pasta to work
Yeah.
with. Such a beautiful squash to work with.
Well,
if you want
yeah.
to pretend like it's pasta.
Yeah, exactly. And Eva actually makes a spaghetti squash, and I can't believe how cheap it is. I think we pick it up actually at the pumpkin patch every year. We always pick up a couple of spaghetti squash, and we make it with a nice fresh tomato pasta sauce, some sharp cheddar on the top, a little bit of that. Unbelievably good, so good, and it's so good for you, and it feels low calorie and everything. So spaghetti squash, that for me is the hero of the squash community.
Squash for you.
Yeah.
Well, let me try and turn you on to a couple more because there's lots of great squash out there. I just want to talk about some of the great points of squash, right? Because there's so many great squashes, but like for nutritional value, right? There's a lot of vitamin A, vitamin C, a lot of fiber. They're very hearty, but they're very low in calories too. So it's actually a healthy choice.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I get that feeling. Like if I have spaghetti squash for a week and then I step on the scales, I'm seeing good numbers. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, that didn't feel like it should be, but it really is.
Oh, it's a great one. And you can think about it too, is like for using it, there's like, it's very versatile in many cooking things, whether you're doing soups, roasting it, pies, or even pastas like we were just talking about. Squash is like one of those ones that you can just hit in. I love roasting it off and just tossing it in like a fresh green salad or even a kale salad at this time of year. As things get a little cooler and you're needing those things, throwing some squash in there, it's just going to give you a bit of extra filling, but it's just got all those great tastes for you as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah, love it. Now, what's this green one you've brought in?
So this is a classic Italian heirloom, right? And it's a Zucca Mantovan. I'm so bad with names.
Zucca Mantovan. So this is from Italy. This is a variety.
It's an Italian heirloom style. So it's a thick, knobby. It's a grayish green rind.
I like the color.
Yeah.
The color is actually really, as I'm a realtor, by the way, did I mention? This color is so in style.
Yeah.
If you're,
for the exterior,
Yeah, exactly. It's really, really in style at the moment.
Yet inside it's got like a really golden orange flesh that's really dense, sweet, and has a bit of a nutty flavor to it.
Can I ask, so it looks like it's wearing a belt. Was it grown with something around it?
I don't believe so. I think
It's
that's just
very
how
interesting.
It's got just a little bit of crack.
I love
on
it.
that. And they
Yeah.
all seem to have just a little bit of a different. It might be a little of the vines wrapping around it as well.
Right.
Too, 'cause
Yeah,
that could
yeah.
be excellent. So classically, this one is used definitely cooked as wedges. Like it's nice to caramelize the flesh on it. It's also really known for making raviolis and pastas, right? So you make a nice puree and then fold it into a pasta to make
Oh,
a
wow.
beautiful ravioli or a tortellini or something like that. What's another good one? Oh, Goldilocks.
Now, are they the ones that people see very frequently and look a little bit like pumpkins?
They're the little baby pumpkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A little
yeah.
smaller, golden orange. Yeah, they're sweet and tender. Little mild nuttiness to them, right?
Oh,
And they have like the beautiful bright color. They're perfect for, like, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but just for decoration and setting up your table. But they're also good just to like cut in half, roast up together. You know, you can serve them as an individual portion. You can stuff them, right? I would even roast one of these, half one of these roasted off. You could even scoop a little bit out, make it into a soup bowl.
Wow.
You know, there's like such little fun characteristics.
yeah.
Of those ones, of course. There's the autumn frost, which I think is quite a nice one. It's breeds from the butternut squash variety, which is another fabulous squash, and I think that's one that most of us are accustomed to, a butternut squash.
I mean, for soups.
For soups
You can't beat it.
and rust, yeah,
Yeah.
and making purees and stuff like that. But the outside of this one is sort of dusty and has like a frost little skin over the top of it. It's got a smooth, sort of a pumpkin-like flesh. And it's kind of sort of a sweet and earthy taste to it, right? It's really good for cutting into cubes and roasting into like putting into, like I was saying, like with a salad or maybe into a grain bowl with some different grains and stuff like that. You could also definitely simmer it into a soup. So that's a beautiful one.
I'm getting quite inspired here. Yeah.
See, this is the thing. Every squash is a little bit different, so it can react a little bit
What it
different.
can do.
Yeah. So whether you're going to, we have like a Queensland blue, right?
It looks like it's got a little bottom. I don't know the nice way of putting
Every
it.
squash
but
is just a
bottom.
little bit different,
Yeah.
right? Most of them have like this. The one I was saying, a Queensland blue, is a variety from Australia, right? With its flesh is very bright orange and sweet, so it's got a lot of nice flavor. It's excellent for roasting or in for pies as well too. So nice,
Yeah.
whip that up, puree
Yeah,
that up,
yeah.
add some egg yolks and some cream in there, bake it into a pie.
Beautiful,
You've got
yeah.
a beautiful pie. Of course, slicing it and just roasting it up, even making a mashed potato with butter or herbs. And that's the other one I have here is like, this looks like an acorn squash.
Oh, yeah.
But they were
this is
calling it a
beautiful.
potato squash, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's got a very mashed potato style texture to,
Oh, great.
to the squash.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so you can whip it up and give it a little bit. So it's got a little bit, maybe a little bit more nutrition than I would say than just a potato, and a little bit more flavor, but gives you still that same texture.
Wowza.
There's so many. So we talked
got any
about the
more? You got
spaghetti
two.
squash. I've only got the two.
Are these from the farm?
These ones I brought from the farm. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So I
Excellent.
thought I'd just bring them in there. We
Yeah.
can talk about them. I know you like actual things.
It's cool.
And so I would actually, if you got time, I would go down to the farm. And I would actually at this time check out all your farms, because all your farms have all been growing squash because they're an easy product to grow, right?
And can you go to Shamrock? And Shamrock's location is hit me now because I drive past it all of the time. But can you go there pretty much any time because they've got a stand, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got a stand right there. So
Yeah.
they are open now for their market is from, I think, 10 till 5,
Okay.
Tuesday to Fridays.
Okay.
So that's one thing.
So 10 to 5, you can go in there.
Yeah. But I would actually, even then, I was just driving down from the college today from Campbell River, working on one of my other projects. And I was amazed by how many farmers along the way all had squash and were all doing like little pumpkin patches and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of great places you can pick up. So I know I'm talking about Shamrock and it's a great spot and they have a huge variety of squashes, but I'd also say there's also other great areas that we can check out and sort of take a little peek into and see where they are working with that. So now we've talked a little bit about squashes, but like cooking and preserving tips for squashes, right?
So, as we hit November and the weather gets a lot, things start to get a little bit less abundant, would you say? Is that the beginning of
Yeah,
less
so
abundant?
the abundance is stopping. Yeah, like everything in the field is starting to die. The frost is coming in.
Yeah.
So most of the farmers are out there. They brought in all their onions and they're hanging and drying them to preserve them so they'll last longer. All the squashes are coming in. And so it's time to start thinking about what we're going to be doing with this. The joy with squashes is depending on your variety, and I'd always talk to your farmer just to see what the length of time is with them. But like a lot of squashes, actually they improve with flavor the longer they
with
sit.
time. Really?
Yeah, like
Wow.
I find like butternut squash is definitely one that I like to let sit.
Yeah.
I like to get a little bit more starchy, and it seems to taste a little bit more sweeter if you let it sit for a month or so before you get into it. So a lot of these squashes have quite a long length to begin with. But then there's other things to get you through the winter. You want to... Most squash, and I'm not going to say all squashes, some are different. I had this beautiful, and I'm blanking on the name of it, but it was like for making pumpkin pie.
Okay, yeah.
And it's a special variety that they have there, but they're like, process this right away because it's going to start rotting right away because it's very high in sugar, and that sugar content is going to start rotting it, right? So with something like that...
Wow, that's actually pretty fascinating. That's the reason.
Yeah, so I would honestly, I threw it straight in the oven, roasted it off while I was actually roasting off some delicata squash, which I love because they have a very thin skin on them. You can actually roast them with the skin on them.
Yeah,
it's
nice.
a little bit chewier.
Yeah.
But you can still...
That's amazing, though, for a squash because it's very thick skin, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, so I had some delicata squash, and so I roast those off for a salad that I was making. Oh, actually, sorry, I did it for a salad. I also put it on pizza.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I bet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I did some nice, some caramelized onions, some delicata squash, some goat cheese, and a little bit of arugula on there. Boom, that was a pizza.
Yeah.
I actually did a little bit of a squash puree on the bottom.
Very
onto
nice.
the dough, and just came out sharp. But that's one thing is I took those, I roasted them off, and I froze it right away.
Nice.
So now I've got a product if I want to make some pumpkin pies and stuff like that. Defrost it, puree it up.
Beautiful.
Mix it all together.
Yeah.
And have beautiful pies. So that's one thing I like to do too is like, so storing, you probably got 2 to 6 months, depending on the variety, on how long you can keep the squash. 2 to 6 months, we're looking at, that'll get you to the spring, right?
Great.
If you start thinking.
Yeah.
But of course, even if you don't have time to cook it down and it's starting to go off a little bit or you feel like it's getting a bit old, just cutting it up, cubing it up, and freezing it off in cubes.
Okay.
Right? Because that way it'll freeze. Then if you want to pull it out, it's perfect to go into a pot.
Great.
Throw some onions in there, saute them off, throw the squash puree.
Beautiful.
Maybe you put some chicken stock, some veggie stock in there. Boom. Soup.
Oh,
right off.
Love it.
Yeah. And of course, then just pairing with cooking and stuff like that. Squash love warm spices.
Oh yeah,
Right.
It pairs.
And I think we all know that taste of Christmas and Thanksgiving, right?
Oh, so it's kind of like a nod to that.
To a little bit of nod to Thanksgiving is on its way. So, a little bit of cinnamon, nutmeg. Of course, a little bit of cumin too. Cumin's got a nice earthy taste in there. Those are great ones. Some fresh herbs we can talk about, like sage works really well. Thyme, rosemary, all really help. And then, of course, if you really want to rich it up, throwing a bit of butter in there, always. Butter is better in everything. Of course, squash goes really well with cream. So if you want to thin it down with a little bit of cream to stretch it out. And then another one, if you're thinking about keeping it more vegetarian or vegan style, coconut milk works really well too because we've got the nice fat out of that. So yeah, there is so many great ways to use up squash and bring it up.
Bloody hell. I've actually been inspired by that because they really are everywhere at the moment. And, you can just go onto TikTok and look at recipes. Mm-hmm. And there will be a million things you can do with things like this as well. So hopefully we can act as that inspiration. John's given you a lot of the things that you can pair it with for success. That will make it taste great. And if you're stuck at a loss and you've check TikTok as well.
There's
loads, and Google Pinterest.
Yeah, and it's honestly, think about it too, is that squash.
Oh, I've broken the top.
Now we got to eat it.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that squash are, and I like to think about, like we talk about apples, right?
Yeah.
When you talk about apples, there's different types of apples for different types of things. Some apples are better in a pie. Some make a better juice, some make a better applesauce, right? And squash are right along the same ways with that. So take a little bit of time, look at what the squashes are, because they all come out differently.
Research what is best.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about squash, and you're talking about the spaghetti squash, what is more incredible than a nice, beautiful spaghetti squash that's roasted off, a little bit of garlic butter, tossed it really lightly on the plate, and then that bolognese sauce on top, it's heaven, right?
You've already made it better. don't tell the wife.
But there's so many other options, whether you wanted to go with a cream sauce, a nice stew on top of that, right? It's just, and then you're cutting out a lot of those starches in your.
Oh, you really are.
In your diet. So, and it's healthy for you. So I'm just I'm going to promote it. It's right there. It's local. Wow. And you know what? It's reaching out and connecting with our farmers in the community to really showcase,
I'm going to go
have here.
On the way home. I'm going to go straight down to Superstore and buy a bunch of spaghetti squash. You do
just to get you going.
I was baiting John into an argument there. So yes, no, it's everywhere. Yeah. It's everywhere at the moment.
The other great thing about squash right now too?
What?
Well, we're coming up to Halloween.
Oh, yeah, right.
So, of course, let's talk about decorations.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, because you just think about how wonderful. We all put a pumpkin out. We all carve a pumpkin. And we do lots of great things with pumpkins and to celebrate the season and scare the children and the ghosts away, But then think about all these beautiful squashes and stuff like that you can actually get in and you can use as decorations around your house, centerpiece on your table for Thanksgiving dinner. Couple beautiful squashes. Get a couple order. What's the word I'm looking for here? We're gonna edit this for sure. A couple centerpieces, a couple nice pieces that you can just put ornaments.
Yes. Really, you forgot ornaments?
Come on.
Sorry. That didn't mean to come out loud.
I did. So there's a great option for you to talk about these.
Great.
Yeah.
And that, it could even lead on to something. It's a kind of nod to Christmas then. When can we start talking about Christmas, do you think?
Well, let's get through Thanksgiving because that's...
Which one? Our one.
Our one.
Yeah, all right.
And then maybe we'll even stretch into the American Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I've got a foot in both camps with my sister.
Oh,
and she comes up here and celebrates American Thanksgiving. So we actually celebrate both.
You know what? There is nothing wrong with celebrating Thanksgiving twice, I think.
Because, and then it's two warm-ups. It's rehearsal, dress rehearsal, and Christmas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Eating nice turkey. I will say we did an outreach with the North Vancouver Island Culinary Association where we
What's that again? It's the Nivica.
Nivica,
yeah.
For William Nivica. So we went out to the St. Peter's Anglican Church in Comox.
Okay.
One of our members has been doing a lunch once a month for the community there.
Nice.
And so we just jumped in and helped him out with doing a nice turkey dinner. And so we had a couple apprentices in there. We had a couple members. And we just cooked up this amazing turkey dinner. We had, roasted vegetables and squash that were all donated from Seaford's.
Oh, I love Seaford's.
Yeah, so another great place to get squash.
Another great place.
So we got a whole bunch of food donated from Seaford's. We took all of those, roasted them up. Someone had donated a bunch of cod collars, right? So the neck. So we made a beautiful stock out of that. We took some of the meat from that as well. And then we made up a beautiful seafood pasta to go along with that. So we had a full spectrum for the community just to enjoy and to thank them, just to share a meal. So.
Oh. Now you get out there with the podcast as well as other things. You get out there more, and I would love to join you at some of these events at some point.
You're always welcome. I can talk about a couple events because I know coming up here at 40 Knots, we have Chef Avi from Powell River who is doing a Japanese meal. A 5-course Japanese meal as part of the Shellfish Festival, or the
Okay.
Seafood Festival at 40 Knots. So we're going to help him out with the association. And in turn for our volunteer work, he's going to give us a class, a Japanese class, cooking class at Malaspina, or VIU down in Nanaimo.
That will be fun.
For our members, yeah. So there's lots of exciting things. We also super exciting that we just found out that the Canadian Culinary Team is out of Vancouver, will be over here for 2 days. They're going to be both at 40 Knots doing a dinner. They're doing demonstration and dinner there, which is going to be incredible.
Great.
So they're going to be out there. They're going to be showing how to do the food, and then they're going to be presenting the food and bringing it out to you. So it's a tapas menu. I think the original plan was for 9 courses. They realized they have 4 hours, and 9 courses is a lot of food to get through for 100 people that they're hoping for. So I think it's going to be condensed a little bit. Instead of, they'll probably have 2 or 3 portions on each plate.
Yeah.
So it'll be an amazing, and there's hors d'oeuvres to start off. It's going to be an absolutely incredible. And then they're heading up 2 days later, November 3rd, up to Campbell River, to the Natural Pacific golf course up there, or resort, Natural Pacific Resort. And they're going to be doing another 5-course dinner up there.
Bloody hell.
That'll be a little...
There is a lot coming up this autumn.
I got one more.
Go on, fire away.
What's that?
Hit me.
So, and we're going to do a podcast on this one coming up pretty quick. It's the Island Trails, right? So basically what they are doing is they're promoting, like we used to do dine around here.
Yeah. Is that not any...
It's still happening. It's not as big as it once was. It's kind of slowed down. I think there is a resurgence going to come back with it.
Okay.
I know they canceled it for a year, but it's still very big in Vancouver and Victoria and some of the other communities. But what we're doing is we're going to be here is doing Island Trails, which we want to promote local food, right? And I say the organizers of us, they want to promote local food, and especially with the times that we live in right now, with food costs getting more expensive, tariffs, harder getting thing up across the border, supporting our local producers and stuff like that. So what they are asking restaurants, and they will do free promotion of you, show off what you're doing, how you're doing it, but just compare a local dish with something that you're doing in your own restaurant. So you create a dish and you can, show off a local wine, or pair it with a local beer, or pair with a local farm, just to show off an event. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good for a good solid month that I think they're going to be running that one. So stay tuned. There'll be lots of information coming out about that one.
Well, thanks very much. The events, it's absolutely packed all the way up to Christmas. And we already have shows planned all the way through the Christmas period. And right into January already.
It's getting busy for me. I know I'm off to Vancouver actually in 2 days, because the Culinary Commons is opening up in Vancouver, which is sort of like a little one-stop shop for chefs and cooks to go. It's going to have a whole bunch of accessibility for chefs to look at recipes and old cookbooks. I know Sue Smith, that was a past guest who passed away a few years. She donated a whole bunch of her books from Beyond the Kitchen Door, or her family donated a bunch of her books. So they all have her name in there from the North Vancouver Island Culinary Association. And so I'm super excited to go over there to be able to point that out, and just to be able to connect with our community and chefs across British Columbia. So.
Okay, well, lots coming up. Stay tuned. We're going to get another one coming up in its, fortnight?
You betcha.
We'll
another
be
fortnight.
Late October already.
We may be getting into a little bit about seaweed as well, too.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again to 98.9 Jet FM, the Comox Valley's best rock. We have recorded this from their state-of-the-art downtown Courtney studios. Thanks so much for that.
And it works so much better when you push the mics on.
Yeah, when you turn it on. Turn it on. We'll see you again soon. Cheers.
Cheers.